Hi friends, welcome back to our Good News Edition, where we find stories that will motivate you and inspire your whole week. We're gonna kick it off with Ruben, who's been busy on the Mother Road, checking on Route 66.
The Fair Oaks Pharmacy was built in 1915 and purchased by a fabulous woman. Her name is Gertrude Osmond, which a female business owner back in 1915 was a huge deal. Now, the thing that I think is very cool is we actually started over a decade before Route 66 was even established. So when Route 66, when the Mother Road came to be, many businesses wanted to be on the Mother Road so that, of course, they could get the most amount of traction. We just happened to be on the Mother Road. So in 26, when the Mother Road was established, we had just already been here, so we got really, really lucky. So the pharmacy is special. It's a dispensing pharmacy. That's amazing. You can go and find a dispensing pharmacy anywhere, but our pharmacy is extra special because we have a dispensing pharmacy as well as a compounding pharmacy. So just like they did back in the late 1800s and early 1900s, we are still able to handcraft special medications. Now, sadly, we can't put cocaine in Coca-Cola anymore. It's a huge bummer, but what we can still do today is we can make phosphoric acid, and it works hand in hand with the soda fountain, and so the pharmacy compounds special concoctions. We use them to make old-fashioned sodas the traditional way, in a very safe way, and it is just so much fun. Some people get really excited, some people are very confused. If you've never been to something like this before, or if you're just not familiar with the way of the 50s or even before, you just don't know what this is. You're confused. Is it a pharmacy? Is it an ice cream shop? Is it a gift store? And it's really all in one. It's special, it's unique, it's immersive. It takes you back to a time that was just slower, a time that wasn't filled with screens and phones and whatnot. I mean, the only screen that we have here is an old-fashioned TV, just playing old vintage commercials. And so it's just a really fun way to be able to envelop yourself into something that you just can't find on every corner. You know, in 2026, a lot of people who are on the road doing Route 66, yes, we have a lot of gems that are still here, but also, I mean, I'm sure you know, Route 66 gets choppy and there's a lot of businesses that just didn't make it through. So not only is it so special to be able to have this place still standing and still have the sign out front, but for it to be functioning just as vividly as it was in its heyday is something so unique that you don't find all over Route 66, you know? So just like you said, it's one thing to experience a relic of a different time and just be able to experience that museum nostalgia, but then it's like, no, we have that, but also go and grab a nostalgic toy or candy and grab a milkshake made the old-fashioned way, and you can really fully envelop yourself, or get some meds, or you can even like still get your meds at the pharmacy.
We have to go back to around mid to late 1960s. A very young Sansei, third generation Japanese American by the name of Albert Okura was moved out here with his father, Tsuyoshi, known as T by his colleagues, because of employment. So Tsuyoshi originally lived in LA. He fought in the Second World War, came back, raised his family. Albert was born, I think, around 1951, 53, I believe. I know it's in the early 50s, but he lived in LA for a good number of years, and then in the 1960s, because of work, his father moved out to San Bernardino. And now, why I bring this into context is because when Albert was here in the late 60s, he saw when the original building was still standing, so he knew what this place was growing up. Fast forward 20 odd years later, now it's 1980s, early 1990s, he had started his own business, what we call One Pollo around here. And like I said, the back half, which is now under renovation of our property, was the corporate office of One Pollo. And then the rest of this building, he dedicated to founding what is now we know as the unofficial McDonald's Museum. Now, he had some hurdles to go through, mostly with the corporation of McDonald's. In the mid-1990s, McDonald's, as an attempt to bury the hatchet with the last surviving brothers, Richard McDonald, because word was getting out about the actual story of how everything started, they set up that monument, which is under what's left of the original sign, and they put the emblem there that says historic site of the original McDonald's. So that was from the actual corporation that was handed over to this property when it was still the Civic Light Opera. The problem was that the Civic Light Opera, being a public place, was that now that the property was now privately owned. Whoever owned the land owned that monument and the symbol, and that's what became an issue with McDonald's, because a museum was being started under the name McDonald's, using assets that were provided here before any of this started. So they sent a few cease and desist in the past, but if you know anything about my late boss, he was a very, very stubborn old man. I mean, very stubborn, I could say, and he wanted to do what he wanted to do. So we kind of have this live and let live attitude with each other. He decided that on December 12th of that year of 1998, which was the same date the brothers opened the original McDonald's back in '48, he would commission the opening of the original McDonald's museum. And we've been here for almost 30 years since then. This serves as a source of pride, but also inspiration, we're hoping, for younger generations about anything big can come from this town if they're put their mind to it. I mean, McDonald's was one of those things. It started as just a small drive-in barbecue that turned into a little hamburger bar stand by the 1950s, with no intention of being this monolithic corporation that is now international. But it just shows how sometimes the greatest things can come from unlikely places that we serve here. People are just blown away at times, the nostalgia that hits, because we get people who are old enough who some of our artifacts and items usually reflect that period they grew up, as far back as to the 50s and 60s, up until the 90s, and even some of the stuff from the early 2000s.
Now don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break. Well, Sheldon has been busy in our community with Pay It Forward. Let's see who he blessed this week.
Well, it's time again to pay it forward. I've got Tisha here with us from Legacy Support Works. What do you say we go help somebody out?
Let's go help somebody, Sheldon. Here's $100, $200, and $300.
Thank you so much. Let's go out there and pay it forward. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Have you got somebody you'd like to pay it forward to?
I do. I absolutely do.
Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Her name is Charlene. She has been my best friend for 20 years. And she's on disability. She is having a really rough time right now, and I would really love to help her out. I would absolutely love it. She helped me a little while back, and I was having a really rough time, and she told me, check your Cash App, and she had sent me $500, and my dad was in the hospital, and it was just a godsend. So I'd kind of like to do something for her right now.
Well, it's time again to pay it forward today here in Amarillo. I've got $300 here, courtesy of our friends over at Legacy Support Works. I've got Robin here with me. She wants to pay it forward to her best friend, Charlene. She says Charlene was there for her in her hard times, and now she just wants to repay that favor, and we've got the $300 to do just that. So I'll hand this off to you. We've got $100, $200, $300. Let's go pay it forward.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mimi, no.
Hey, girl.
Robin,
How are you?
I was okay till a while ago.
Hi, this is Sheldon from News Channel 10, and we're doing a Pay It Forward. And I think that you are an amazing person, and you helped me a lot just recently, and I want to make sure that you have something for that. So here you go. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Robin.
You're welcome, sweetheart. I love you.
You too. Thank you.
Now we just got to find you, what, 5,000 more?
What does it mean that Robin stopped and thought of you today?
It means the world. She was reading my mind because I was stressing over what I was going to do. I just didn't tell her.
You didn't have to tell me.
So,
I know.
without friends like that, what would we do?
Now let's check out this next story where one airport is using music to make traveling smoother.
The typical sights and sounds of an airport can hit differently in Portland, Oregon, when live music is part of the route. In the middle of the lines, the hassle, and the carry-ons, the piano gives people a place to exhale. Aging Untold expert Catherine Ambrose says music can do that fast, lift your mood, and lower stress.
Music, just like pets,
nature are so calming to our system. It's just known to be calming, relaxing, and I love the fact that they are bringing in live musicians.
PDX started bringing in pianos after 9/11, hoping to ease the anxiety of flying. Now there are multiple pianos across the terminal with volunteer musicians rotating in. And for the musicians, the best audience reaction is the simple one: kids who stop and listen.
You'll get a lot of families, especially young families with kids, that are really kind of mesmerized by the music. And you don't get that often out in other places.
Ambrose says that shared moment, strangers listening to the same song, is how music unites people.
To be hearing that music together and having that experience together, I think it helps create just a shared experience. You look at people differently, make eye contact a little bit differently because you're enjoying something special.
At an airport built for moving on, the music gives people a moment to connect before the next takeoff.
I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again.
What inspired a Kentucky man to build these 32-foot concrete teepees on Route 66? In the 1920s, Frank Redford was driving through Long Beach, California, when he spotted a roadside lunch stand shaped like a giant ice cream cone. Frank had one thought: what if you turn that ice cream cone upside down? Redford opened his first wigwam village in Kentucky in 1933. Over the next 16 years, he'd build 7 of them across America. This one, Wigwam Village number 7, in San Bernardino, California, opened in 1949 and became the last of the originals. But no one bothered to tell Frank that these aren't wigwams. They're modeled after teepees, the tall, cone-like shelters used by many Great Plains tribes. Wigwams are rounded, dome structures found in other parts of North America. But by then, the name was on the sign, and postcards were printed. So Frank just rolled with it. For a while, Route 66 travelers packed these rooms. Then the interstate arrived and business dried up. By the 1980s, the place had waterbeds, hourly rates, and had become a less than reputable establishment. But in 2002, the Patel family bought the aging motel and painstakingly restored it to its former glory. 3 years later, they received the Cyrus Avery Award for Historic Preservation, helping save one of Route 66's most recognizable landmarks. Today, travelers from around the world still spend the night in these wigwams. No, wait, teepees. Or maybe just upside-down ice cream cones.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now let's kick it off with Dave to see what good news he has for us this week.
Transformation Park here in Amarillo opened its doors a little more than a year ago. The vision was much more than feeding unhoused people. It was providing the resources and programs needed to help get them off the street.
Is it working? I would say, yeah, it's working. Maybe not as quick as I would like it to work, but we're also trying to figure some things out. I'm not sure we knew what to expect, so I can't say yes to that. But we think it is working. We've housed 20 along with our partner agencies. Another dozen or so on top of that have gotten employment. And so we have good commerce partners. They're stepping up and employing our residents.
The overall unhoused issue is vast, but progress is encouraging.
Food, water, shelter, safety. We offer that to anybody. And so we have been full since day one, just about. And we average about 100 to 120 a night between our cabins and our safe space. And so 120 people aren't sleeping on the streets. They're sleeping in safety.
And you were one of the first ones.
Yeah, we moved in April 23rd and we moved out February 6th.
Okay, that's great. The Transformation Park cabin community was Kathy Emberley's home for several months, an integral part of helping her transition off the street.
We lived in a tent all over Amarillo, and we were down at the Resource Center, and they wanted to move us up here. And I lived back there in D3.
We just fell in love with her. She's so sweet. I honestly don't know how she survived on the streets being that sweet, you know. But Kathy came in, she worked her plan. She got all of her identification. She got in with the city, who helped her get housed.
No, I don't think it would have been possible without Transformation Park. Transitioning out, I got case managers to help me, and they moved me to a house. So yeah, I mean, I'm blessed with having a house, and that's really good.
She's been gone a few months and doing quite well.
If you would like to join the mission and help produce more stories like Kathy's, Transformation Park can use financial support and needs volunteers.
It's not just simply getting them off the streets into a house. That's a big part of it. But that just because they're housed doesn't mean everything else is working well for them. So we want to walk alongside them to make sure that they continue to be successful.
Just give Transformation Park a chance, because I mean, it helps somebody if you're willing to help yourself. So yeah.
We can't help if you don't reach out. So reach out's the first step, and don't be embarrassed, because we all need help at some point in our life. And so just make that phone call to 378-9009, and we'll see what we can do to help.
So through Transformation Park, lives really are being transformed from being homeless or on the streets to back in homes, back in employment, back in society. It's all good news. I'm Doppler Dave for News Channel 10.
Here's another fun story just for you.
What World Cup athletes eat for dinner could end up on a Kansas City family's table tonight.
We're taking surplus food and getting it onto family dinner tables.
That's the mission of Pete's Garden, a Kansas City nonprofit that rescues surplus food before it hits the trash and gets it to families who need it most.
It makes mom or dad's life a little bit easier because they don't have to cook that night.
And right now, the World Cup is about to take that mission to a whole new level.
We're going to pick up anywhere from 15 to 20,000 additional pounds of food.
Pete's Garden already serves about 1,000 families a week. But over the next 6 to 8 weeks, founder Tamara Weber says the World Cup changes everything.
That's probably about 10 to 15,000 meals, which will be about a 50% increase in what we normally would be getting out during June and July.
Here's how fast it moves. A hotel hosting one of the World Cup teams calls with leftovers from the night before. The chef keeps it all refrigerated, Pete's Garden picks it up, volunteers package it the same day, and just a few hours later,
probably on dinner tables tonight.
1 in 6 Kansas City kids lives in a food insecure household.
Right now, with grocery prices increasing, that number is also increasing.
And Tamara says the World Cup could not have come at a better time.
So every little bit helps.
The operation is powered almost entirely by volunteers, including former Kansas City star food critic John Martellero.
I figured, the least I can do is try to give back to people.
And his verdict on the food? No yellow card here.
Oh, I would give it 3 stars. Absolutely.
But for Tamara, rescuing food is only half the story.
We're giving families more time for family time.
Less time in the kitchen means more time with the people you love.
Increased family time is really the heart of it for me, because that's how I grew up.
And as the World Cup puts Kansas City on the global stage, Pete's Garden is making sure the whole city gets to feel it.
It just shows that even though we're the smallest city that is supporting World Cup matches, we have the biggest heart.
In Kansas City, Maya Engel.
Now don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's check out a couple more stories before we go.
Hard at work are members of Bull Strength Barbell, a weightlifting training program formed in 2022. Throughout the years, the team has continued to grow, representing Amarillo in competitions throughout the state and country.
Olympic weightlifting is one of those weird sports that you only ever hear about like back in the olden days, or like back in the last generation, and so introducing it to these kids and like everybody, it's so nice and it's like refreshing.
While it may be different than other sports, weightlifting still requires significant preparation before competitions. The team practices 5 times per week, a routine crucial to their success.
It does require like a good amount of effort, and I feel like it's not difficult unless you make it difficult. As long as you show up, I think you'll be able to improve good, and if you put in the right amount of work that you need to put in, then you'll improve you'll see improvement in yourself.
Instead of a traditional gym, the team practices out of a 3-car garage. Some of the weightlifters say it took some getting used to, but they have learned how to make the most of their space.
Sometimes it can be a bit crowded, I'm not gonna lie, but honestly, you know, you're just going on a routine that you're just kind of used to it, and you're just like, okay, what's the order we're gonna do? What platform are we gonna get on? And I think it's honestly really awesome just being able to come to a gym and not feel like overwhelmed with like a big spot.
With each weightlifter at different stages of their athletic career, the main goal is for each athlete to continually improve.
Everybody's here to get better, so I feel like no matter if you're just starting out or like you've been doing it for years already, like everybody's like, they're always there to cheer you on and like make sure that you're here working hard and just improving.
Dylan Lemus, News Channel 10.
She just had a flair for style.
You can hear the love in Tamara Coleman's voice when she talks about her late mom, Irma.
And she loved red.
At 75, Irma found a new passion, quilting.
You would see the little light at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning still on, or she would come and wake my sister and I up, come and see what I've done. My mom in 2019 was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Until the very end, she was just very strong and courageous through it. It was hard.
Irma Jean Burton died in March 2021. Months later, Tamara and her sister went through her mom's quilting room and found more than memories.
And pulled out like 10 or 11 unfinished quilts. We just opened them all up and it's like, wow.
It just feels good to do something good for somebody else.
Enter Sarah Citos. They didn't know each other, but soon became inextricably woven into each other's lives. A nonprofit called the Loose Ends Project connected them.
They've got 37,000 volunteers. There's a lot of people out there waiting for their first project.
Sarah signed up with Loose Ends 5 years ago, hoping for a match like this.
Her mothers are just spectacular.
Like, I don't know if I can let this go, but when I first met her, I knew. I could just feel it's in good hands.
Months later, Tamara says Sarah gave her more than a finished quilt. She stitched together a bit of peace.
To have them back and completed, for me, has really helped my grieving process.
There was another thread, too. Sarah had lost her mom as well. With each finisher who took on a quilt, Tamara got to share a little more about the woman who shaped her.
The amazing thing is, a lot of these quilt finishers have told me that your mother was in the room with me. You know, I could feel her spirit. This community has been just really healing and therapeutic for me.
A lot of people who lose a parent wish for one more call, one more visit, one more conversation. Tamara says, in a way, she's having it.
She returned a quilt to me and she said, your mom was there and she said, you go girl, you're on the right track. You know, so it's just really amazing, like her spirit is still here. And I know that this is the conversation piece through her craft. She's talking to me through these women. I believe that.
It makes you feel good that there's so many people willing to give their time and energy to something that, to a complete stranger. But, you know, it makes you kind of proud to be part of the human race sometimes. There are some good people out there.
Well, friends, Odd Good Things must come to an end, but don't worry, you can catch up on all of our good news on News Channel 10, newschannel10.com, and of course, all of your favorite streaming apps. Until next time, I'm Nellie Ramirez.